One of the biggest stories of this week by far was the court case surrounding Australian soccer player, football player, depending where you are in the world, Sam Kerr. Now, for the longest time, she was celebrated as the pinnacle of sportsmanship or sports ladyship in my country of Australia. Everybody loved her, but she got in a lot of trouble last year when she was arrested and charged over being racist, allegedly. Now, a lot of people, I think, are getting really caught up in the idea that she should be thrown away and put in jail because of what she said. She has been taken to the courts. Now, I'm going to really be quite considerate on this and say something that you may not agree with, depending on what you read. And that is, it is ridiculous if you think that this lady should go to jail. She shouldn't. All she said is that this police officer who arrested her at the time called him a white bastard. But I want to get to the full story before we go to the video. And the whole idea behind the actual issue before the court is that she used whiteness as an insult and attacked someone based on their race, calling him. Now, Kerr is on trial, charged with causing racially aggravated harassment to a policeman, Stephen Lovell, during an incident in London in the early hours of the 30th of January 2023. Now, it's alleged that Kerr and whoever she was with, Mewis, had been returning from a night out partying when they became embroiled in a fracas in a taxi, which ended up with the driver taking them to Twickenham police station in southwest London. It's a really interesting issue because a lot of the nitty-gritty of what is at the core of the problem here didn't really come out until it went to court. I had no idea that apparently the taxi driver had locked them in the car and no one could get out, and this led to Sam Kerr trying to break the window or breaking the window or something like that. And then it came out in court that she was absolutely horrified to be locked in this taxi because when she was growing up in her town, she didn't feel comfortable getting in taxis or cabs because there was a serial killer on the loose that was dressed up as a taxi driver or something like that. That was basically the understanding that everyone got here. And I can only imagine that she got a little bit freaked out. Now, it would be a little bit scary, I guess, if you grow up with a serial killer in a taxi. When she arrived at the police station with the taxi guy, that's when she got into this conversation with the police officer. And that is where everyone has the issue, calling him in a derogatory way white, using that as the attacking word, or the word that is mean, if you will. A lot of people, and I think this is where I have an issue with it, out of absolutely everything, is a lot of people have been defending her. Now, I don't think you should not be defending her. I don't think she should go to jail. That's ridiculous. I don't think she should be charged. But a lot of people have been getting online and calling her a queen for calling this person a white bastard, calling her amazing role model for young darker women or women of color, that she's incredible because she went out and said these things to a white guy and used his race as a way to attack him. Now, wouldn't we all agree that that's a bit shit? That that's a bit bullshit, that you probably shouldn't carry on like that? And if you had the roles reversed and that was me getting out of a cab and saying something horrible to a police officer who was black or brown or whatever they happen to be, you would probably think, and maybe rightfully so, that I should be probably not thrown in jail, but at least people think I'm a piece of shit. And this is the court of public opinion where I think this conversation matters more than anywhere else. People should not be seeing her as this amazing role model. She should be copping heaps of heat from all these people out there because she's saying horrible things to someone just because of their race. And I don't care if she's a different color to me. I can say that saying things about people's color and using it in a derogatory sense is a shit way to go. Now, if she came out and just apologized and just said, listen, this is fucking stupid, I was drunk, I was an idiot, then okay. Maybe some people would say, listen, fine, pull your fucking head in. But no, she's now taking this and running with it like she's a cult hero. So this is her at the police station.
Just to pay $500 Well, no, it's actually
we couldn't get out.
But
we couldn't get out.
No,
like,
we could not get out of the car. Listen to the recording. We want to go to court. Listen to the recording because I've got all the people in the world.
Okay, but
And what's your name?
my PC level.
Yes. And like that's what I'm saying. Do you believe it?
She's drunk. She's extremely drunk when she's doing that. It's pretty obvious, unless she sounds slurred all the time. In my opinion, she's very, very drunk. And she was coming home from a night out, so that makes complete sense. And she's, you know, ended up in a police station. She's been kept in the cab. People are, you know, you would be a bit scared. You would be a bit worried. And now she's, I know personally myself, I've carried on like a pork chop when I've been quite drunk and the security guards say you got to leave and you start saying all these things under the sun. But still, you don't bring in someone's race. Like, that's ridiculous. Maybe you argue, maybe you carry on, but...
Taxi driver.
Are you doing this just
over
because of your job?
Is this...
Because of my job.
Are you doing?
But
are
why
are
are you
like,
saying you have to pay £800 or £50?
Well,
He would not let us go.
Right, if you listen to me, rather than talking at me,
Okay. All right.
as it stands,
Let me listen for
what
1
you've
second.
told me doesn't substantiate any offences. Tell me the offence that he's committed.
He would not let us go.
And
He
tell
was,
me
he
the
was
offence.
trapped.
He was
His
holding
taxi
us.
driver.
Why was he trapping them, so to speak? That's what I'd like to know. Why was they were being kept in the cab? It doesn't really say that.
She'd thrown up in the cab.
She threw up in the
She
cab.
threw up in the cab and she was refusing to pay for it.
Right.
So old mate called the cops and they were like, drive him to the police station.
Oh.
And so that's why he locked the doors and he was taking them there. And then she freaked out and kicked the window in, apparently.
Cuck chair
Allegedly.
Ben from the sideline. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's very interesting information. If that turns out to be true and Sam Kerr doesn't come after you, you stupid white bastard. Yeah, I guess that is a very fair reason to go and take these people to the police station if they're not going to pay. £850, that's a lot of money for a spew, but okay, fair enough. So she ends up in the police holding area, I guess you'd call it, and they're trying to work it out. And here she is. She gets really fired up in a minute.
He was holding us
Babe,
hostage.
he
But-
was holding us against our will
But he's driven you to a police station.
because we couldn't get out. He wouldn't let us
After,
out.
Oh, okay.
can
So
you please track his surroundings after?
they're blind
How
drunk,
long?
carrying on.
Please, I will stand by that. I will stand by
That's
that.
fair enough.
What area?
If he's been told to drive to a police station by another, when he's phoned police, he's been told to drive.
Oh, so he's called the police. It just said then that he's called the police after they've refused to pay, and then they said drive to a police station and drop him off there. So that's why they're being kept in the cab.
Police station.
Okay,
Where
then
is
fine.
Which is what he's
Fine.
saying.
File a police report.
Well, we're going to have to file.
Yes, file a police report. I've got f***ing Chelsea going on it because that is, even if it's
That's
5
fucking
meters or
bullshit.
10 meters, he did not. No, that's
was-
She threatens the police officer by going, well, not threatens him, but threatens the court process because she has the Chelsea lawyers, which in Chelsea is a massive football club in the UK. And I imagine that means they've got lots of money and they're going to be able to sort this out.
He was absurd. And I will have the whole recording. We were begging to get out of there.
Yeah.
We were making you out of there
Not
15
denying.
minutes
Don't worry.
before.
I will have the best lawyers. Don't worry.
I think as long as, if there was a recording and it was played, you would hope that the cab driver had in that recording something along the lines of him saying, hey, we're going to the police station. That's what's happened because you're not paying or refusing to pay this fine. You've committed an act in my vehicle that is, I don't know, not great. So clean it up, pay up, or you're going to the cop shop. So that's where he's taken her, and they're carrying on like they've been picked up by some serial killer, by John Wayne Gacy in his clown car, and they've been locked in there. It seems like a little bit of it just seems like she's carried on blind drunk, really, really drunk, and then this has just come back to bite her on the ass.
If these two white men
No,
are gonna,
it's not. It's
No,
not their
just-
fault. I don't.
That's a bit gross, isn't it? So she's sitting there. She's just been told that there's going to have to file a police report, and she points at the two officers. She goes, "These two white men." She thinks she's in a fucking comment section on Facebook. These two white men. Fuck off, Sam, you goose.
It's actually their fault. I think that this guy has like cornered them into.
They've recruited the police officers to be like, I don't know who this other lady is. That must be the other chick that was involved in this conversation. And she sounds like she sells soy candles on the weekend. So she sounds like a very nice person, very intellectual human being. So she's cracked into tears. I saw some screenshots of her standing up. So she's going to stand up in a minute. It's going to be very exciting.
I've literally been outside with him for about 5 minutes when my colleague was talking to him.
And what did
Yeah,
he
of
say?
course.
Do you think that that's fair? Like, we were trying to get out of his cab.
We
for
were
15
trying
minutes.
to get out
Like,
of
we
his
wanted to
cab.
go home. Like, we were just like,
Did you-
please let us out.
did you call police?
What?
Did you call police as well?
We
Yeah.
called police as well.
Please.
Oh, calm down. Right, just
We
a
called
question.
police as well. We were held hostage in that cab.
Right.
I mean, I guess she does think that she was held hostage. I don't know. It sounds like a very interesting one. You wouldn't want to feel like you were held hostage. You obviously, hopefully, let everybody know in the cab that this is what was happening. But maybe he didn't. You know, obviously everyone was yelling and carrying on. Who knows?
Yeah, so obviously you've got the longitude and latitude playing on this recording, and then the network is EE, the shape is ellipse, confidence.
It goes on to say in the article that that's a fucking lie. I would pay whatever. That's a lie. So they must be talking about not being paid. She went on to say, I'm going to call my fucking lawyer. I'm over these. After being told by Lovell, which is the police officer, calling a lawyer right now would be irrelevant. Kerr responded with, no, I'm calling my fucking lawyer because it's a fucking racial fucking thing. Because you're not letting me go because you believe the guy out the front over 50 pounds. I thought she said 850 pounds. Okay, so 50 pounds. It's at the point when released the footage that Lovell tells Kerr, you need to calm yourself down, little missy. Oh, Lovell. What'd you say that for, dude? Kerr, he said, and Mewis said they don't give a fuck about the costs. They have to pay for the taxi to get cleaned. However, later in the same video, Kerr is heard saying, I'm not paying for some fucking dodgy window. Here it is, Benny. So the cab driver has claimed that they refused to pay cleanup costs after one of them vomited. And one of the two then smashed the cab's back window. They're fucking gone off. Oh my God. So that's the other one, Mewy or whatever her fucking name is.
He only wanted £40 to clean it up too.
Was it?
That's it.
40, 50, that's crazy. The argument is that Kerr has not only just offended the police officer, but actually really damaged him and racially abused him by using the word white. Now, I think that's just madness. That's ridiculous. Like, fucking get over it. But maybe the police officer was like, well, fuck you, don't talk to me like that, which is also fair enough. But that shouldn't be a law in the UK. You shouldn't be able to just say you're a white bastard and then have to go to court. That's fucking madness, dude. Like, who come up with that? The Queen would be rolling in her reptilian grave if she fucking found out about this shit. That's absolute madness.
Did you stay on the phone long enough to even speak to someone?
They
That's the
hung
thing.
up on us.
Okay, but they wouldn't do that though.
Oh my God.
They wouldn't do. You should have spoken to the.
Stupid and white. Honestly, you guys are stupid and white.
Okay.
I'm looking you in the eyes.
Why are you
I'm
bringing
looking you in the
racism?
eyes. Like,
So
that's stupid. I'm over this shit. This is the world problem. Wait on the call. Wait on the call. Wait on
Okay.
the call.
all right. I'll go over at the moment then at 3:17. You're
looking
under arrest
up.
for criminal damage because there's an allegation that you've smashed that taxi window. You're also under arrest for racially aggravated public order
No,
for the
you
comments that
guys
you've said.
did. I'm
So the
recording this
reason
whole thing.
that's fine. The reason
Like,
for your
we
arrest
can
was for
make an
prompt and effective.
agreement.
Okay, so the police officers just sort of, it's like if you get pulled over at a traffic stop and, you know, you've done 20 Ks over the limit or 20 miles over the limit, and now you start being a bit rude to the police officer and he picks this and he picks that and your back tail lights out and all that type of stuff. That's what he's doing. He's throwing extra orders. But, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's just fair to say that Sam Kerr, in the wrong, should apologise and stop being a fucking horrible person. Most lay people like us, normal human beings, just sort of doing their thing, would go, don't fucking say that shit. But a lot of the famous people in Australia, particularly the ones on the interweb, they are very much sticking up for it. And yes, you go, girl. And I think that is just as much bullshit, and it tells you a lot about that type of person or those type of people. But let me know in the comment section down below, ladies and gentlemen, what you think.